you guys, it's Cherelle from Ray Designs, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a nameplate necklace. This is going to be a character name necklace. We are doing Princess Tiana today from Princess and the Frog, and I am going to be using Silhouette Studio Business Edition to make my design, and we are going to be cutting this on acrylic with our GLOWFORGE. I recently purchased a GLOWFORGE, and this is going to be my first project I am showing you guys with it. So we're going to just jump right in. So I already opened Silhouette Studios. As you guys can see, I do have the business edition. This is pretty important if you are going to be making your own files to use on your GLOWFORGE machine. It's important because with the Silhouette Business Edition, we are able to save our files as a SVG, which is what the GLOWFORGE cuts out. The GLOWFORGE uses SVG files. So that's why I'm using this. There are other files as other programs as well out there that you can use, but this is one that I am pretty familiar with because I have already been using it for some years. So I will have a preview of the finished necklace so you guys know exactly what we're making beforehand. So yeah, first thing you're going to do is you're going to want to figure out what image you want to be using. So I am just using, if it shows, well, it won't show. I'm using this image right here. So I just saved it. You want a PNG image. I just go to Google and I type in Princess and the Frog PNG, and I search through the images and find one that I like. The next thing you want to do is you want to try to look for a font. What I use is this website right here. It's called wordmark.it, and pretty much with this you could type in whatever name you'll be using. I'm typing in Araya. Hit this button here and it will list every single font that you have installed on your computer, and it will show exactly what the name will look like. I already picked out a font. I'm going to be using this one right here. It is called Aloha March. I believe I got it off of Creative Fabrica. If not, it's definitely on the font. Those are the only two places where I get my fonts from. So you're going to go back here and assemble everything. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to merge my picture. So I go to File up here, Merge, and I'm going to find the image I just downloaded, and it's right here. I'm going to click it because I want to make sure I add in an outline to it. I don't know why my images always do this. When I install it, it looks like completely something else, and I have to resize it to get it to look right. And now we need to add a cut border around this image, because even though it is a PNG already, when you install PNGs on Silhouette, it doesn't delete the background. It still makes it a background for some reason. So to get rid of the invisible background, what you're going to do is go to this little butterfly tool here. I'm going to click that. You're going to go to select area. Don't mind the image. It's there. You're going to go over the whole image. I do solid fill, threshold all the way to the top, and I go to trace and detach. And it will take a little while to just load, and it should detach our image from the actual background. So then we could go click the image, move that over here, and if you guys can see very faintly, there is an outline of it. That we want to delete that whole thing. Boom. We're going to take our image again, and I'm going to trace it one more time so I can get a outline of the whole image. Because if I do the outline now here, it's going to just outline the image, but I want all these little holes here to be outlined as well. So I'm going to go to select and trace again, and we are going to select the whole image. The threshold, we're going to do max again. And then we're going to go to trace. And that's going to trace every single spot. So as you can see, it traces the insides of all the empty space. So now I'm going to group all this together. And go here and hit group. And then I'm going to duplicate this. So I'm going to take her and we're going to duplicate it. And this back piece here, we want it to be a solid color because we're going to be using our GLOWFORGE, and we're also going to be using sublimation to sublimate this image onto a piece of acrylic. So this, I'm going to go here to this color, and I'm going to just change that to white. Now we could just take these two pieces and we could line them up perfectly. So if you just select both images, go here, the bullseye center, it should line them up. Okay, so now we have our Princess Tiana cut out. So pretty much this part right here, we are going to do a printout on our sublimation printer. And then this is going to be white acrylic that we are going to cut out. And we're basically going to sublimate this image onto that white piece of acrylic. But for now, we're going to just put it all together. So we're going to take both the pieces and center it. And we could also resize it. It doesn't need to be that big. We're going to resize everything at the end to make sure it's the right size. So these two we're going to take and we're just put to the side because we don't need them right now. Now we need to do our name. So for our name, you're going to hit this text tool here. And then just type in the name. I'm doing Araya. And then I am going to change it to Aloha March, just like so. And then I'm going to make it bigger so we could see. I just like to make sure everything is connected properly. So make sure everything looks good. You're going to take it all, select all the pieces, and we're going to hit weld. Because if we cut it like this, if we just group it and cut it like this, the GLOWFORGE will cut all these pieces off right there, and we don't want that. So we weld it, it will make it all one piece, but there won't be these cut lines in the middle of the letters. So as you can see, those pieces disappeared. And I'm also going to create a compound path because as you can see, this part of the heart isn't connected to this piece. So if we right click, if we select everything, right click and go to make compound path, it will make it 100% one piece and it will all be connected. And this will just make black. And this piece right here, we're going to cut out with mirror acrylic. So you want every different color acrylic to have a different color outline. So as you can see, my white acrylic over here is outlined in red. So I do not want my mirror acrylic to be outlined in red too. So I'm going to just change that to yellow. So that way once I save it as an SVG and open it in the GLOWFORGE little app, it will automatically separate each outline color. So my GLOWFORGE will stop cutting and I'll be able to switch the material to a new color acrylic. So it's very important to keep all your different colors separated. So I'm going to be using 3 different colors in this. So I'm going to need 3 different color outlines. So my white is outlined in red. My mirror acrylic is outlined in yellow. And then we have to do one more layer. So now what we need to do is put all this together. So I'm just going to take my Princess Tiana here. And I'm going to move it next to my name. You could place it wherever you want. You can put it on top of the name, bottom of the name, the left of the name, or the right of the name. I like putting mine on the right of the name. And then you're just going to resize it as big as you want. I don't want it too much bigger. And then I'm going to select everything. And we're going to resize it to how wide you want your necklace to be. I usually do mine between 2.5 to 3.5 inches. So this one I think I'm going to do like 3 inches. The whole necklace. So we're going to just keep resizing until it's roughly about 3 inches. There we go. And then I am going to zoom back in. Alrighty, so now my whole necklace is roughly 3 inches. And then what we're going to do is select all the layers and we're going to group it together real quick. And then we are going to right click and we're going to go to offset. I'm just gonna bring up this screen here. You could also go to this menu over here on your right hand side, and the star is the offset menu, so you could just click the star as well, and then you just make sure it's big enough. This is going to be our background color to our nameplate. For me, mine is going to be green glitter acrylic. So you want it to be pretty big, and you want to make sure everything connects. So like I want to make sure my Tiana offset part is going to be connected to the name part. I don't want those to be two different pieces. I want the background to be one huge piece, and it is. So I'm going to just hit apply when I'm happy. And then I am going to change my outline color for that to green. And you can also fill it in green if you like. So it will kind of look something like this. But then this will be gold here. And then all we need to do now is basically add our ring holes for our necklace chain. So you could either use this here. This adds 2 circles for you, or you can make your own circles. Doesn't really matter. I'm gonna make my own circles, so I just select this tool here. You go here, you hit shift, so make a perfect circle, and then you just kind of resize it. I usually do mine's about 0.15, and then you're gonna do it again because you want to make a bigger circle. And then you just want to take these 2 circles here and line them up. So I select both of them, and you hit this bullseye button right here. It will center them. So that's going to be my cutout. And then I select both of them, and we're going to duplicate that. We're going to need 2. And this one I'm going to move over here. And now we are going to see where we could put it. This I play around. I don't have a certain location where I like it. I just kind of play around with it. I also use these lines here to line everything up. So as you can see, my middle circle is kind of lined up. The top is touching this top line. So I will do the same over here. I will select these 2 here, move it over, and I'm going to make sure my little circle is touching that top line. And now what you want to do now is take these 2, click on these 2 outer circles. So I'm going to click this one. I'm going to hold shift on my keyboard. Select the other one. And I'm going to select this green layer here. And I'm going to go to weld. So now all that's one piece. And now what we're going to do is click on that green piece. Right click and hit send to back. So we can bring our whole design up front. And now we need to make holes in the center, so our jump rings or chain could go through this hole. So I'm just going to make sure this right here is clicked. I'm going to just drag down, and it should select both of those. So you see the whole green part is outlined, and that middle circle is selected as well. We're going to go to this tool right here. It's like a rectangle and a circle. Select that. And then you want to select subtract. And as you can see, that middle piece is deleted. So now that's going to be a hole. And we're going to do the same to the other side. So just click anywhere on the screen. And then you're going to drag down. Select those again. And then we're going to hit subtract. And now we basically have our necklace outline. And we're going to take our image and just put it at the top here. You would just print it on your sublimation printer. So I go to File, Print. I select my sublimation printer, select everything, and then you just hit Print. Now print out. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go back to Silhouette, and you need to flip this horizontal because I'm going to be putting 3M adhesive on the back of my acrylic name and acrylic Tiana piece to adhere it to the big glitter piece. So I like to do those backwards. So we're going to just go to this, select it all, right click, and you're going to hit flip horizontal. So now it's backwards, and then we're going to just go to File, Save As, and then Save to Hard Drive. Again, same thing. Click SVG and OK. It's going to replace it. Yes.